And welcome to the Nasboys Sports Podcast. Now, did you know that when Joe Theismann was playing college football at Notre Dame, the sports information director convinced him to change the pronunciation of his name from Theismann to what we know today as Theismann, so it would rhyme with Heisman. The new Mr. Theismann would not win his Heisman, finishing second to Jim Plunkett. So, anyways, guys, welcome to the Nasboys Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, aka Mike Bob Fan 101, with my good friend and co-host Cam, aka I Spy Cam.
Howdy, y'all.
So let's get down to talking about some sports tonight. We are going to start off with the NFL. Hall of Famer Calvin Johnson says the Lions owe him 1.6 million he gave them back in 2015 to settle the issues between both sides, which that's really wild to me. I've never heard of an athlete and a team settling a dispute where he had to pay the contract fine or whatever it is.
Yeah, really weird situation. I feel bad for Calvin Johnson in a certain part of it, but I also could see the Lions side maybe. But honestly, I feel like the Lions should just give him his money. He's a legend, for that team. I feel like for all he's done for them, at least they could do is just give him that money.
I mean, I agree. He's been one of their best players, and probably their best player over the last decade. So
Agreeable.
definitely very strange. Saints signed free agent wide receiver Kenny Stills to the practice squad, which I remember Kenny Stills playing on like decent teams. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Should RG3 return to Washington with Taylor Heineke being the quarterback for the next 6 to 8 weeks? So this is all a bunch of Washington football news. First of all, Heineke, as a Washington football fan, I love this guy. I've not loved a quarterback or any NFL player as much as I do Heineke. I mean, the last guy would probably be rookie RG3 or Deshaun Jackson, but Heineke is just such a feel good story. I mean, he was riding the bench on a lot of NFL teams. Then he became an XFL backup quarterback, and then he was the emergency quarterback for the Washington football team. And all of a sudden now he's just torching people. So I'm a big fan of Heineke. So I really hope that he gets the start, even when Fitzpatrick comes back from his hip injury. And should RG3 return to Washington? Absolutely not. No disrespect to RG3. He seems like a good guy, but he's not as good of a player as he was. And that was proven when we saw him with other teams like the Browns and the Ravens. He's not the same. I don't even know if he would cut it as a backup, and I think Fitz would be a fine backup if they decide to start Heineke.
Right. Yeah. I fun fact about Heineke is that he actually had to cancel his finals for college because he had a football game to do, which is kind of funny and interesting.
Yeah, he
So,
had the Tampa Bay game.
yep, which is just kind of funny, little interesting facts, And I think the same. I saw this question going around Twitter, and I saw that, and I was like, I had to put this in here just to see what everybody else thought, because personally, I think no. I feel like it's a bad pass, and it's kind of what brought him to where he is now. No offense to RG3 or nothing, but really, I just feel like that's like the worst possible thing you could do. And I just think really, it's sad. I feel bad for him, man. I really do. His career got cut short in my mind.
Yeah.
He's definitely the Derrick Rose of the NFL, and it kind of sucks to see. But Derrick Rose is getting back in. But
Yeah, D Rose is rebounding a ton. It's just RG3 just I don't know, just that's what happens. And
yeah,
you can thank Mike Shanahan and Dan Snyder for that. And that's another reason why I don't want him to come back to Washington is because like I was hearing rumors about like locker room drama between him and Kirk Cousins, and obviously Kirk Cousins isn't there, but Dan would like favor him for some reason, I guess, over like yeah. Okay, sorry about that, guys. But like I was saying, Dan would kind of like favor him over Kirk Cousins a little bit too much and kept him the starter longer than he should have. So I don't really, I'm a little scared that that would impact Heineke because I think Heineke's the better quarterback right now. So hopefully they don't sign him and they just either roll with Heineke or Fitz.
Uh, yeah, and plus, I mean, we all kind of clearly see who lost that battle. Cousins is actually starting on a team, and RG3 isn't.
Yep.
So
And Cousins is doing solid. Put him on my
he's
top
doing.
10 quarterbacks.
I did too. He's doing pretty decent.
So the Bills and Highmark Stadium announced that people 12 and over will require proof of a COVID vaccination card, and the Rams to do the same due to LA County's rules.
Which
Oh,
I hate to
you
cut
go
in front of
first.
you. Yeah, which I hate to cut in front of you, Mike. Which I just would like to say, we really don't really like to bring politics on here. I never really do. Which really, this isn't really political either. It's just more of I was just more saying how much is this going to affect the teams, and like how much money will they lose off of stuff like this is all I just want to know. I mean, I just got to think like I just want to know how much will it affect them, and will we see? Because really, I mean, with this stuff, it kind of not only affects the stadium, but it also affects the team as well. And I'd like to see how much money the teams that have to do this are going to lose on.
Yeah, Cam, I definitely agree with your point here. But luckily with the Rams, you can at least test negative if you don't want to get the shot. So that shouldn't hurt the Rams too bad. But I definitely see your point because, I mean, we could potentially see this all over the country. And I hope we don't see this all over the country. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with it.
100%.
All right. Next topic is 49ers running back Raheem Mozart undergoing knee surgery, which will take him out of the season. I know he's a pretty solid running back, so that's another hit for the 49ers. Prayers up for him.
Yeah, I really does suck for him, man. He's kind of. I mean, I think personally in my mind, I think he is really good. I think he's some talent that I feel like kind of goes unnoticed
Right.
in my mind a little bit. But once again, that's just another low blow for the 49ers, man. It's been a tough year for them so far.
True, true. Uh, next, next up, we got Jaguars head coach says there's no chance he'll go to USC, which they fired their coach. And a lot of people were speculating that Urban was not happy at Jacksonville, which even if he's not happy at Jacksonville, can you blame him? I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
Trevor, I hear, isn't really doing that great, and Jacksonville's just overall not that great of a team. You got Travis Anthony; he's hurt for the season, so I can see why he wouldn't be happy there. But I don't think that he abandoned ship within week 2 or 3. Whenever you're watching this,
Right. Well, yeah, that's also a thing I have to think about. Is that he did like recently say that like people were saying that when they were at the practice that Urban Meyer's never been so mad before. He's been yelling so much, and I mean, you kind of seeing the outcome in a little bit. Not really a good outcome, but I mean, you can kind of see where he's coming from. I believe that Trevor Lawrence today either threw 3 or 4 picks today, and it's pretty detrimental. What's funny enough is my stepdad said that Trevor Lawrence is going to be a bust, which I didn't believe him. I was like, nah, Trevor Lawrence is going to be good. And I mean, so far, he's not really been showing much, which really does suck to say if you kind of think about it for him. And it's going to be interesting what they can do.
yeah, definitely. I don't really watch the Jaguars that much, so I can't really make too much of a comment on how Trevor's playing because I just have not seen him since the last college game he played in. But I don't know if it's a problem with their offensive line or their coaches, or if Trevor just is not adapted to the NFL level yet. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll get better, or maybe he could be the next Johnny Manziel or Ryan Leaf. We'll see. Cowboys pass rusher DeMarcus Lawrence out indefinitely after suffering a broken foot in practice. Packers 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 pass rushers Zadarius Smith headed to IR due to back injury. Uh, Eagles. I had to make fun
Oh,
of
my
that.
bad.
Eagles signed defensive end Josh Sweat to a 3-year contract up to $40 million. Bucks announced that they have reached out to cornerback Richard Sherman, which this is interesting. I mean, I didn't think that we'd see Richard Sherman this year, especially after all his legal trouble that he's been in recently. But we're not going to get into that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, it's just kind of funny. I mean, the Buccaneers are just slowly turning into a super team. And it's insane. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I never thought that in my times of living that I'd ever see the Buccaneers even go to the playoffs, and that is no offense to them. Just with the way Jameis Winston was throwing 30 picks in a season before, just was not looking fresh for them, and so really, I mean, it's kind of cool though. I mean, for the Bucs fans that actually were loyal, I'm happy for them, and I think Richard Sherman would be a great pickup. I mean, he's still a great football player. It's just outside of football, he's a little rocky. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, and slowly becoming a super team. I mean, they are a super team. They got Brady. Gronk is getting back to form. Godwin is a pretty solid player. Mike Evans, I'm not really sure if he's doing that well, but last year he was a beast. So they got a lot of players and a top defense in the league too.
Yes, insane.
Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa carried into the locker room, which I feel so bad for Tua. He seems like a player who you give him the chance and you give him the time to develop, he'll actually be a solid player. But he's just been so held back from injuries, and this hip injury was lingering with him in college, and people were questioning if he'd even be a top pick.
Right. Well, I mean, it's sad, man. Really, I think it sucks because I'm gonna be honest. I think that this is gonna affect him for the rest of his career. I really don't want to. I hate to say that, but I mean, you've seen it already affect him throughout college, and now, what is this? The second time this has happened to him in the NFL for an hip injury. I mean, it's really not looking good for him if you think about it. And plus, I just think there's gonna be at some point where he's just gonna get injured super bad, and I just feel like he's never ever gonna be the same. And the Dolphins were actually talking, and they're saying that they don't know how long he's going to be out for. They said I remember their head coach said that it's looking bad, basically. So
that could be that injury you were talking about, Cam.
yeah. Well, I mean, it sucks because, like, really, just like Mike said, you never really got the chance. He never really had the chance to shine in the NFL, and that kind of does really suck. And I just feel like maybe if you really had the chance to and really could improve over some years, I just feel like maybe he would be really good. But
Right.
with this hip injury and what's going on, I mean, it's just, it's looking rough.
Justin Fields brought back into the game as starting quarterback Andy Dalton. God, I can't talk tonight. Gets injured. They should have done this a while ago. I understand why they wanted to keep Fields on the bench a little bit longer, but I mean, Fields I think has potential to be a franchise player. So that's pretty cool that he gets the opportunity. But prayers to Andy.
Yeah, well, I mean, Andy Dalton was looking pretty, fresh that game. I'm not gonna lie. And he went out on an injury, which kind of sucks for him. Which they haven't announced anything. There's no new updates on him. And with Justin Fields, I just honestly kind of feel like that Justin's gonna leave the Bears whenever he can. I don't know why, but I got that gut feeling that he's just not happy with where he is, and I feel like he's gonna move. Which I don't know if that's gonna be detrimental or if that's gonna be helpful.
I mean, if he does leave the Bears, I would not blame him.
No, me neither. Not at all.
And then another injury, Texans QB Tyrod Taylor out for game after a hamstring injury, which that's not good for the Texans. I mean, they were starting to get a little better. They won against Jacksonville last week. I don't know if they won or lost today, September 19th. Sunday, September 19th, 2021. So that's another really bad situation for the Texans. They already lost their star quarterback, Deshaun Watson, obviously with his allegations and not being happy with them.
Yeah, well, I'm no disrespect to Tyrod Taylor, but when you are behind Tyrod Taylor in quarterbacks, that's really not a good look, man. It's just I feel like I don't know why, but I always feel like the Texans have always kind of been this way. I don't know why. I just feel like they've always had some sort of issue with their QBs. And I thought maybe that was going to change after Deshaun Watson, but no. I mean, they're still having this issue. So I feel like honestly, personally, I feel like whenever they get the chance, they should just trade Deshaun Watson at this point. I mean, he obviously doesn't want to stay with the team. I think he wants to go somewhere else, and I feel like you could still get a pretty high price for him. I mean, they could try to keep him, but what is he really going to do? You guys don't really have many options.
Yeah, I mean, there is a bunch of problems with it, but they should have traded him before the allegations came out, I guess. They just kept him there, almost like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, poor Aaron Rodgers.
Browns wide receiver Jarvis Landry has a sprained MCL. He will undergo further testing. Geez, a lot of injuries.
Yeah, and like big time injuries too. So, which really, I mean, this sucks for Landry, man. I mean, it's like this guy just. I'm sorry, I hate to say this, but sometimes part of me feels like this guy just can't get a break. And in this situation, I mean, it sucks. And torn MCL, I think whenever you have the name torn inside of it, it just never goes good.
Titans left tackle Taylor Lumen out for game after knee injury during warmups. That's wild.
Yeah.
And Ravens versus Raiders. I personally didn't watch the game because I thought it was just going to be a blowout for the Ravens, but I heard it was really good.
Oh, I watched this game, man. It was such a good game that I actually had to give my opinions on it. Which really, dude, what a game. So far, I know it's only week one, but really, I mean, if you look at week one, there was a lot of games that kind of just set up the year. As much as I hate to say it, the Bengals versus Vikings game was a great game. The Vikings came back and sadly lost to a field goal. It's whatever. And there was a lot more of those type of games that were just like, what? There was a lot of upsets too. And this was one of them. My stepdad's a huge Raiders fan. And I was actually watching the game with him. And we all kind of thought that we were just going to get blown out. It's just how it goes usually, especially for, when it's the Ravens. And Lamar Jackson, I mean, he was doing amazing. And really, it was just insane because at the end of the game, right? So the Raiders had the ball. Okay. They were like goal line. They were about to get it. And one of their players jumped. So they had to go back. Derek Carr throws a pick in the end zone, kind of like how the Seahawks and New England Patriots were in the Super Bowl was. And that was detrimental, right? So basically, had to go to overtime. Okay. And originally, they messed it up, right? So then the Ravens got the ball. The Ravens messed it up. They fumbled. They fumbled the ball. So the Raiders got it back. And then you can see that legendary play of Derek Carr, I believe, throwing it to Zay Jones for a touchdown. So, it was a really good game. And, I just kind of caught me by surprise, man. So Derek Carr, right, I believe this is like the best a Raiders quarterback has done in history, statistically, over these past two games, which is this game and today's game. So, which is really crazy to me. He's been doing really good. And him with a lot of his wide receivers is just a big threat. The only thing that kind of sucks is Josh Jacobs, which is their star running back, actually has an injury. I believe it's a toe injury, and he actually had to miss out this game. So I don't know necessarily when he's coming back, but that actually sucks a lot.
Yeah, I didn't know that fact about Carr being the best quarterback statistically in Ravens history or Raiders history, excuse me.
Yeah, over like these two games, he's had like the best statistics in the game for Raiders.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, I believe he's threw the most pass yards this past game against the Ravens. So that's kind of crazy. And we're gonna get some. What you gonna say, Mike?
one more thing about football. Just make sure you guys follow the official Nasboys Sports Instagram account. I'm going to try to post the predictions for you guys can pick who you want to win for Monday night and Thursday night football and any really big game that's going to come up this season.
Yeah, we also plan on maybe doing some boxing events like those, and some fight events maybe. We'll try to get you guys into that too, see what we can do.
Yeah, I know we got Kamar Usman and Colby Covington coming up. I know there's Dustin Poirier, I think, is going to go in for another fight in December. So there's some stuff that we got to interact with you guys with.
Yes. And so we have some MLB news. Finally, last weekend there was not a lot to me in my mind. I feel like we've had way more, but this weekend there's a good amount. Sandy Alderson to return as New York Mets team president, which personally, I mean, to me, I really don't care about the New York Mets, man. I'm sorry to say that. I feel like they're overhyped, and I guess good for them. I think he'll be valuable to them. And I also know they're having issues with their manager right now. His manager, their manager basically came out and said that no matter what happens, he'll have plenty of other teams that would want him. Which, I mean, it's kind of like, what are you trying to say there? You're trying to leave or you trying to stay? Like, you kind of seem like you're throwing shots there. So that's a little weird.
It sounds like he's just trying to get more money out of the Mets.
That would be smart. Padres place left-handed pitcher Blake Snell on 19-day IL for left groin strain. Padres signed right-handed pitcher Vince Velasquez, expected to start against the Cardinals, which, man, I don't know. I feel like Padres are desperate for pitchers recently. And, when they lost Blake Snell, this is kind of bad for them. I mean, really, they've just been slowly declining since the second part of the season has started. I mean, no offense to Tatis Jr. or nothing, but he just hasn't really been hitting the best either, which later you'll see that some other Tatis news happened. This is a big one. Shohei Ohtani may not pitch again in 2021 after a very sore arm, which his manager kind of talked about it, basically saying that Shohei has a very sore arm and they're not sure what they're going to do with him. And, it's been hurting him a lot. And for him to not be pitching for the rest of 2021, that's bad in my mind. That really does suck.
Yeah, that's really going to hurt the Angels. Luckily, they'll still have him in the outfield, I believe, and he can still hit dingers. So that could also be what's hurting it, just with the amount of dingers he hits.
Oh, heck yeah. Chris Sale starts for Boston on Wednesday. Well, he started for Boston on Wednesday. And, the only reason why I'm saying this is because he was on the IL for COVID, but he's off. And really, he's just been having tough luck this past 2 years, man, with injuries and stuff. I'm surprised Boston hasn't let him go yet. I mean, I understand that there is that he is their ace, but it's just no. Reds take Jesse Winker off the IL, which very good. Happy to see that as a Reds fan because we needed him, and which it just really still has been bad for the Reds, man. We can't do anything. Royals place right-handed pitcher Brady Singer on injured list and will likely be going on COVID IL as well. This is big as well. Dodgers, Cody Bellinger has a non-displaced, I'm going to murder this part, Beaning, something like that, fracture in his ribs. His chances of coming back depends on his pain tolerance, right? So it is a fracture, but it's not the worst. It's like he could easily, be back in no time. It just depends, which really Cody Bellinger has not been the best this year. For a little while, the Dodgers actually benched him, which I thought was insane. And Cody Bellinger's just really had a rough year.
Well, on the bright side, the Dodgers have plenty of good players, so if Bellinger is out for a little bit, they can still stay in the fight for the championship.
I know, right? At this point, they might as well just get Acuna Jr., right? Because crap, they just have all the money, apparently. Indians expect Terry Francona to return back as manager, which I don't know if that's a smart move. I mean, I think for now it will work out. It just Francona has been, decent for the Indians. I just more don't understand, like, well, what are they going to do? He hasn't really done any major moves, which I think they need to do. The Indians need to get somebody out there. Yankees outfielder Joey Gallo exited yesterday's game with neck pain, which I don't really think is too big of a deal. I think he'll be back in no time, but who knows? White Sox reliever Mike Wright Jr. suspended for 3 games, after intentionally hitting Shohei Ohtani.
Hey, dude. Those are 3 brutal misses. They might run him. Shohei Ohtani hit by a pitch in the top of the 9th inning. His reaction was, it's baseball. They came and got me. We hit 3 of their guys on Tuesday.
White Sox manager Tony La Russa also suspended for a game, which, this whole situation is just so messed up. I mean, it's just kind of stupid that you get salty enough where you have to intentionally hit a player. I mean, especially Shohei Ohtani. He's so nice. He doesn't bother nobody. I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of a wuss move. If you could take that W and replace it with a P, you'd understand even more, but it's just a crappy situation.
Yeah, I don't get why. I mean, if he did really hit Shohei on purpose, I don't really get why you would hit Shohei. I mean, all he does is just go out there and play baseball and is probably one of the best, if not the best, players out on the market right now. I mean, he can't even speak perfect English. And Stephen A. Smith, he had to deal with a stupid comment from Stephen A. Smith. Come on, leave the guy alone.
He doesn't really know that much English, and it's just, I mean, it's a crappy thing, and apparently he's going to appeal the whole suspension thing. So he's basically going to try to fight them about it and say that it wasn't intentional. But I mean, you got a fastball right to basically near, it was near the hip rib area. I mean, come on, dude, it's kind of obvious, but it's whatever. Padres teammates Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado arguing in dugout, which I really couldn't find exactly what they were arguing about, but apparently they're saying that the only reason that Manny Machado was yelling is because he wanted to show leadership inside the dugout and inside the team as well, which I kind of think is stupid because Manny Machado does not mean to be a leader for everything. This man is all about attention, and he's a crybaby. I don't like Manny Machado. I never will. I remember when Josh Donaldson tapped him with a glove and he threw his helmet at him.
On 0-2 count. Runner off second base. Jones will go towards third base. Donaldson, who is going to tag him, and gets the out. And Manny Machado didn't like it, and they're having words. Machado slammed the helmet down. He thought that Donaldson hit him a little too hard. Bobby Dickerson moves in to get Machado out of there. Bullpens will get their only exercise of the game as they come in.
Because he tapped him too hard, which he didn't. Manny Machado was flopping like LeBron James out there, and it was pretty bad. And I don't like Manny Machado. And so I think that it's just kind of stupid that he's going to show his leadership and his role on the team. Tatis is clearly better than you, and he clearly knows more baseball about it than you do. So I don't know. It's stupid. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, from what it sounds like, the Padres have fallen off since the summer. Hopefully they can get back rolling, but that doesn't surprise me with Machado and Tatis arguing. I mean, maybe they gotta fix some things, and I don't know. I don't know really what the argument was about.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny. More Padres news, which kind of goes with today's fun facts. Mr. Theismann over here. Well, now it's a different one. New baseball record broken. Now, I don't know if this is necessarily you kind of as good, but Padres relief pitcher Austin Adams has hit 24 batters this year. This is the most in a single season since 1906. He's only pitched 49.2 innings. He's looking real fresh out there.
Hey, you guys are getting a lot of facts tonight.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple. Toronto Blue Jays left-handed pitcher placed on 10-day IL with neck tightness, which, I mean, he's not really that valuable to me in my mind. So that's kind of that.
All right. And that's it for all the baseball news, right?
Yep.
All right. So now let's move on to the NBA. And we got a lot more NBA news than in recent months so far.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to start off with free agent Kenneth Faried working out for the Lakers. I forgot this guy existed. I'm not going to lie. I know that he was a pretty good player, but I just have not heard the name in a while. And the Lakers are once again proving that they're a retirement home.
Yeah, really. It's kind of funny. I was expected that maybe Isaiah Thomas will go there too, but no, I guess not. And I just wonder who's next.
Isaiah off topic, but Isaiah was playing really good in the what's it called, the Drew League, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
So if he feels like that he can play in the NBA, maybe a team should take a chance on him.
Well,
you actually
see later. We'll see later that. Well, I'll just say the news now because might as well if you are going to see it. Isaiah Thomas actually got invited to the Warriors practice, so he's going to work out with the Warriors, which will be interesting.
Oh, so I guess if they sign him, he'll be Steph Curry's backup. That's interesting.
Right.
So the Clippers reveal images of what the new $1.8 billion stadium will look like, which I'm glad the Clippers are building a new stadium. I'm a little shocked that they are because I didn't hear anything that they were, but I'm glad that they are. They deserve to be their own team, and I almost wish they'd move to like San Diego or really anywhere else.
Well, I just think it's kind of awkward that you're going to have two stadiums, in the same city. I'm not going to hate on it, though. It's fine. It does look really good. From I
saw it. It looks really well done.
Yeah, it looks really cool. And, it's going to be interesting how they play it out.
This one is a little bit personal to me, but John Wall and the Rockets agreed to part ways. Rockets will look to trade John Wall. So far, the Clippers, Heat, and Pistons are in the running to get him, which John Wall, a lot of people really love to criticize this man. John Wall is still a great player. He came off from not playing after 2 years and is over here still being somewhat dominant. He still has his athleticism and his speed. The only problem with him that I could see was that he took way too many shots last season, and a lot of people were complaining that he didn't give the ball to Christian Wood a lot, which, I mean, I could understand that, but John Wall is still a great player, and any contender would be lucky to have him. And if I were to have a choice on where I'd want to see him go, because John Wall, for those of you who don't know, John Wall is my favorite player in the league. I would love to see him with the Clippers and playing with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Just him dishing the ball over them. That would be amazing. And then John Wall could drive it in the paint. And then the Heat would also be cool. I would love to see him play with Bam and Jimmy. I would definitely not want to see him with the Pistons because they already have Cade unless they play Cade at the 2 guard or the small forward position.
Right. And really, I think that for one, John Wall is easily underrated. He never gets the credit he deserves in my mind. I feel like everybody that talks about him just acts like they're basketball pros or something. It's like if he has a good season, they'll judge his jump shot. Or they'll tell him when he starts to shoot too little, that when he does, they're going to go, well, you should drive in the paint more. There's always something about him. And, I will say the whole, passing to teammates more. I mean, you got to realize this guy's had trust issues a little bit from Washington, which I don't really care what anybody says. At one point, he kind of had to carry the team on his back, and really he kind of had to run the team himself a little bit. I mean, really, for a while the team was dependent on him, but now they have Beal, and Beal's, he's cooking up, and so I think Beal's kind of, has his position now a little bit.
Well, yeah, of course Washington had to depend on John a little bit more because Washington was not a great team until Beal started developing more, and then they got Gortat, and they made Defro DC, which I mean, that makes me really sad because none of the players are on there anymore except for Beal, and who knows how long Beal's going to stay. So,
Right.
of course, John Wall had to carry the team on his back, and he is a great, great leader and has, I feel like, helped Beal out a ton. And now Beal is able to lead the team and be a top shooting guard in the league.
Right. And and as I was saying, I just think that, maybe John Wall still got a little bit of those trust issues in himself with just, with the team, and maybe he's just used to running the court like that. And, I feel like if he went to the Clippers, especially, I feel like that would open up a lot of opportunities for them. And I think if anything, that would just push them even more farther into, a shot at the championship. And
Well,
so,
yeah. The difference with what John will do on the Clippers, though, is that most likely Kawhi is going to be the leader, but John will still be that point guard helping him out and making him better. Because if there's one thing that people notice about John Wall, he makes his teammates better and he gets his teammates paid.
oh, he's such a team player. I will say that now. Like, one thing about LeBron I will say is that LeBron is very good at being a teammate and playing together, trying to get them all to communicate and work with each other. And I feel like John Wall does that really good. And so I think John Wall would be a perfect fit on there. I mean, the Heat, I guess I wouldn't mind seeing John Wall on, but I just feel like John Wall always looks better in that red and blue kind of colorway a little bit.
Exactly.
So going him on to the Clippers would think would be nice.
The Heat fans are probably going to be so happy because I remember a lot of trade rumors for like John Wall or Bradley Beal. So I don't know. Sorry for the long talk about John Wall. I'm just such a huge John Wall fan. Aaron Gordon agrees to 4-year, $92 million contract extension with Denver. This is a solid move, and that will help their future out a ton.
W.
Mavericks signed Frank Ntilikina. I don't know. Ntilikina. I don't know. In coming days, which they were another team that I saw was rumored to get John Wall. So I guess that means they're not going to pursue him, which I don't know. If that's going to be your starting point guard, then I don't know what to tell you, Mavericks. Luka might leave when he gets the chance.
Yeah, I would leave when I don't know why Luka wouldn't. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, he's making bank.
He's already re-signed with them though, which I don't know why, but all right.
Yeah, if I was Luka, I would have left and get a better opportunity. I mean, he's kind of doing what like Bradley Beal does, which I feel like Bradley Beal should have left a long time ago. But no offense.
Bradley Beal should have left as soon as they traded Westbrook, but hopefully Spencer Dinwiddie does good. And a lot of people were even joking that John Wall should come back, which I would love to see, but I don't know how that would work out with Dinwiddie.
Yeah, I mean, Dinwiddie's a solid player. I don't get me wrong. I think he's a solid player, and I think it's gonna be interesting how he does. I think honestly, I think Dinwiddie's gonna do super good. I don't know why. I just had that gut feeling that like he's just gonna roll it.
I agree. I'm excited to see Spencer, but the thing is that that if John did come back hypothetically, there'd be so many problems because one of them's gonna have to go on the bench. Let's be real, and they both are starting caliber point guards. Rockets nearing a deal to sign Dante Exum, which that's interesting, I guess. I mean, if that's John Wall's replacement, okay, well, have fun, Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green. 76ers still having high prices for Ben Simmons. That could be another place John Wall goes to. I'd like to see him work with Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris. Mayor makes September 16th. Mayor Lori Lightfoot makes September 16th Candace Parker Day, which Candace Parker is one of the most influential WNBA players. So that's interesting to see.
Yeah, no, sorry, it just took me a second. My phone wasn't working with me, guys. To go back on the whole price thing with Simmons and the 76ers, they're not going to get much off of him. I hate to say it, but it's just people have hated on him so much. It's like you're going to get very little in my mind. And, I don't know why they're still trying to do this. If anything, honestly, I hate to say it, but I feel like they should just cut Simmons. I don't know why. I just feel like they're not really going to get much of what they want. And they've already had a couple of ideas of what they wanted, and they've also had a couple of people that were barking up the tree of like, hey, could we get him for this and that? And they denied it.
Well, the hard problem is with I think his contract, because in the NBA, it's not like the NFL where like you could just trade like a second round pick for him. You have to equal his contract. So I don't know. I wouldn't ask for an all-star though. Maybe John Wall would work with his contract, but we'll see how that goes. I don't think they're gonna trade him. They're probably gonna have to cut him.
Yep.
Hawks signed Jahlil Okafor to a non-guaranteed deal, which that's just adding to their big collection.
Yeah.
Pacers considering signing Lance Stevenson again and Wesley Matthews. That could be some good veteran leadership for them.
Maybe Stevenson can like teach his whole team how to blow into people's ears.
That's true. And finally tonight we got Machine Gun Kelly and Conor McGregor had a fight at the MTV BMA Awards. That's
Hey guys, back up. All the way back. No one right here.
Connor, Rachel from ET. Man, I heard about the scuffle you had with Machine Gun Kelly on the carpet.
No scuffle at all. I don't know the man. He's obviously there's him and Megan to be at the fights. And
What happened?
absolutely nothing. I don't know. I just showed up and I don't know. I don't even know the guy, to be honest with you.
Just rumors?
Just rumours. Nothing happened with me. I only fight real fighters, people that actually fight. You know what I mean? I certainly don't fight little vanilla boy rappers. I don't even know the guy. I don't know anything about him, except that he's with Megan Fox. You know what I mean? And you know yourself.
Get in there, take some pictures.
very strange.
The funniest part is I don't even know why Connor did it. Honestly, I think Connor was just begging for attention. Usually Connor does this when he's having a mental breakdown. And, let's be honest, we've seen that happen before. Bus. And so really, I'm not surprised. He just kind of threw a drink at him, which I don't really understand the beef. I've heard that it's because Connor's like good friends with Eminem, but I don't know.
I read somewhere that he asked Megan Fox for a picture and Machine Gun Kelly answered for her and just said nah and shoved him. Which, if that's the reason, I would be mad too, and I would probably throw a drink in Machine Gun Kelly's face. Or actually, I would throw a drink in his face anyway. I don't like Machine Gun Kelly. I'm Team Eminem all the way.
Well, there's a lot of reasons why I don't like MGK. But yeah, no, I don't think if he was just asking for a picture, that's stupid. And I feel like pushing Conor McGregor, man, you got balls to steal. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be horrified to push Conor McGregor. I'm not gonna lie. I got a little more respect for MGK for doing that, though.
Conor still looked like he wanted to fight even with the hurt legs, so that's cool to see. And wait, didn't Conor say he wanted to fight Jake Paul? Or something
Did he really?
That?
I did not know that.
I don't know. I thought I saw something. Let's make it happen or something like that.
It would have been more funny if Conor would have told MGK that his wife was in his DMs too. It's so funny. MJK actually took a major L because one time, Megan was asked about like what she feels about Conor McGregor, and she basically said that she's her favorite fighter and that he's been to like all of his fights that were like really big. And he said she felt so bad for him after Khabib won that one fight. She wants you, Conor. She wants you. You go ahead, man. You do it.
That's probably why MGK shoved him. If that's the real thing. So I don't know. But we're going to do one more thing. We got top 10, or actually two more things. We got top 10 wide receivers. We've been doing this a lot. We did it with quarterbacks and running backs, and now we're going to do wide receivers. So, Cam, if you would like to start out.
Sure. So my top 10 wide receivers are coming at number 1, Devontae Adams. Number 2, DeAndre Hopkins. Number 3, Tyreek Hill. Number 4, A.J. Brown. The Titans, A.J. Brown. Not the A.J. Brown you guys are thinking of. Number 5, Michael Thomas. Number 6, Stephon Diggs, which I'm going to call myself out. For some reason, I have Surf on, but it's whatever. Number 7, Adam Thielen. Number 8, Allen Robinson the second, or 2 eyes, whatever you want to call him. Number 9, Amari Cooper, and number 10, Justin Jefferson. And my honorable mention would always be Calvin Ridley. I think he's good. I just don't think he could make it to the list. I think he's close though.
My list is number 1, Devontae Adams. Number 2, Stephon Diggs. Number 3, DeAndre Hopkins. Number 4, Tyreek Hill. Number 5, Calvin Ridley. Number 6, DK Metcalf. Number 7, Justin Jefferson. Number 8, A.J. Brown. Number 9, Mike Evans. And number 10, Keenan Allen. Some honorable mentions are Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, baby. He'll be on the list probably next year. Watch. Let's see. Adam Thielen and Chris Godwin.
Well, that's a good. Honestly, those are some good honorable mentions.
Also, I forgot. Dang, how could I forget Tyler Lockett? Dang, I forgot about him when I was researching for the list.
Okay, I just want to say this now. My dark horse would definitely be Hunter Renfrow on the Raiders. Dude's a beast. I feel like he goes unnoticed all the time. It kind of bothers me.
All right, and we're going to be making picks for this week's Monday night and Thursday night games.
So for the Monday night football game, we have the Lions and Packers, and I'm actually going Lions. Listen.
Whoa.
Listen to me. They had a decently good game. They look fresh in my mind. And I'm calling it now. I know you're saying, why? There's been so many upsets this year. Why not? Okay. Aaron Rodgers does not care. I don't know if you guys have seen that picture floating around the internet of him. He looks depressed. Okay.
I don't blame him.
I mean, no, neither do I. I could never imagine playing on a team that's colors are green and yellow. Like, it's nasty. But anyways, I think I think the Lions are going to win. I think it's going to be the biggest upset ever.
Well, I mean, you are right. There have been a lot of upsets recently. I mean, no one expected the Bengals to do decently well. So, but
don't bring that up to me, man.
For the sake of things, I'm going to go with the Packers. The Packers should be able to blow them out, but I won't be surprised if there is a upset.
Right. So, and then for the Thursday night football game, we have the Panthers and Texans, and I'm obviously going to go with Panthers. I mean, the Texans don't even have a QB named yet, I don't think. And that's just looking rough as it is. And, they already got Christian McCaffrey for the Panthers. You got Sam Darnold, who's not looking the worst. I definitely think that this is easily going to be the Panthers win.
Well, the Panthers are currently 2-0, so they're having a great season so far within the first 2 weeks. So I'm going to go with the Panthers as well. And so with that will conclude this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Follow our social medias, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Peace.